Well, today we're tackling the most intricate system of all, human interaction. Specifically, women! Think of it as debugging a black box API, where the documentation is spare. Forget the women are irrational myth. We're going to treat this like a code problem, something we're good at. Inputs, outputs, states, cooldowns for our gamers out there. Okay, so let's dive in. There are 4 concepts that you need to transfer into understanding women. And they are the core concepts of inputs and outputs, state management, cooldowns, and debugging and iteration. Just like code, women react to inputs. Your actions, your words, even your presence is an input. Emotions, reactions, behaviors, they're all outputs. Example, you forget the anniversary. Output, Angry Birds or the silent treatment. Input, you got their favorite chocolate or bought their favorite coffee. Here's the kicker. It's not always just that simple. The key is to log these inputs and outputs pairs in a mental database. Think of it as reverse engineering some undocumented features. You already understand every system has a state. Women are not different. Their state is their emotional context, influenced by past events, hormones, stress levels, and a million other variables. And this state dramatically affects the output of any input. They're in a bad state, you do a lighthearted joke, output, just a cold stare. They're in a good state, you do a lighthearted joke, output, they laugh. Same input, different state, different output. So it's like a variable in your code. Value changes based on the program's execution, which influences subsequent operations. You need to track and understand this emotional state in order to accurately predict outputs. This is crucial. Cool down periods. Unlike your code, which can often process inputs instantly, women have emotional cooldowns. If you're a gamer, you understand this. You use a spell, hey, it takes a few seconds for the next spell. It's a little longer than a few seconds for women. Sometimes not, but most often. The severity of your input dictates the length of the cooldown. For example, you broke her favorite cup. She might be mad at you for an hour or so. You crash her car? You can spend several days in the doghouse. But here's the important part. Respect the cooldown, just like waiting for the rate limit on an API. It's the same concept. You cannot send a new input right away and expect a different output. This is where many coders fail. Treat it like a synchronous function, expecting immediate response. Yet emotional processing is asynchronous. You need to wait for the promise to resolve. With women, big emotional errors require a longer cooldown time before it can reliably handle new requests. So like any complex system, understanding women requires debugging. And you're gonna get it wrong. At first. A lot. But you learn from your mistakes. And you can treat each interaction as a test case. Log your inputs, outputs, and observe state changes. Analyze the patterns. Refine your understanding of the API. And iterate on your code. And you're gonna have to accept that there's gonna be edge cases. There will be unexpected outputs. There will be bugs that you can't explain. Just like you did with coding. So next time you're having trouble understanding women, think like a coder. Analyze the input, track the state, respect the cooldowns, and iterate. And understand that you won't become a master debugger overnight. You sure will be a lot closer. The more you debug, the better you become. And remember, this is a complex system. The goal is not to perfectly predict every output. Approach it with curiosity, patience, and a healthy dose of humility. Leave your thoughts and debugging tips in the comment section.